Hello everybody and welcome back to the world's greatest trainer tournament. Today we're continuing the battles between the set 4 contestants, and only 3 seats are available for these 7 trainers. And they're gonna have to battle it out if they want to make it through to round 2. The rules are the same as before. 3 victories and you make it to round 2. But if you suffer 3 defeats, you will be eliminated. Last episode was certainly an interesting one, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going back and checking it out. Now it's time to find out who will rise and who will fall. Kicking things off today, we have Falkner versus Bruno. Falkner has a type advantageous matchup here, so he should be the one who wins. We've seen time and time again that type advantage does not always equal victory. Can Bruno save himself from elimination once again after saving himself from being eliminated by defeating Blue? Will he be able to eliminate Falkner here, or will this be the end of the line for him? Let me know in the comments down below who you think will win. Then next we have Candice versus May. Both of these trainers have fought hard, but May is on the verge of claiming one of the 3 placements left. Meanwhile, Candice is on the verge of being eliminated, so I'll have to give her all if she wants to remain in this competition. Who will be the victor? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Then, last but not least today, we have Conway versus Professor Oak. Conway is on the verge of being eliminated. Meanwhile, Professor Oak already has been. But due to there being no opponent, we had to make do. Can Professor Oak eliminate Conway in one last hurrah? But will Conway prove he is meant to be here by securing that second victory point and even making it through to round 2? With that said, let me know your bets in the comments and let's spin the wheel to find out who I will be controlling. Okay, Falkner or Bruno? It looks like I'll be controlling Bruno. Let's lock in the teams. Okay, the teams are locked in. Let's get this started. Bruno leads off with Steelix while they lead off with the Hunt Crow. Hunscrow goes for the heat wave, that's super effective. Steelix does not appreciate that and takes a hefty chunk. Steelix goes for the stealth rock. That's going to cause a problem for any flying side Pokemon to switch in. Bruno calls back Steelix and sends out Hitmontop. Intimidates the Huntscrow, which goes for yet another Heat Wave. It does a decent jump, but Hitmontop survives, but it does get the burn. That is unfortunate for Bruno. Already at attack disadvantage, but now his attack has been cut in half. Hitmontop goes for the fake out. Offensive lab burn, it's not going to do too much. Huntscrow survives. But he does get flinched and able to act thanks to the fake out. Hitmontop takes more damage from the burn. Huntscrow's faster, goes for the Brave Bird. Critical hit, and Hitmontop is immediately taken down. Huntscrow takes some recoil, but Falkner takes the lead, 6 versus 5. Bruno sends out Hitmonchan. He goes for the Stone Edge, but it looks like it's going to miss. Huntscrow goes for the Brave Bird. Hitmonchan is just gone. Huntscrow takes more damage from recoil. But does it really matter if they cannot even attack? Bruno sends out Hitmonlee. which goes for another fake out. The Hondscroll survives.
The red corner
Gets flinched.
Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. Who's going to take the glory?
Lemon Lee goes for the safe blaze kick to avoid missing. The Hondscroll finally goes down, but Falkner's still in the lead, 5 versus 4. Falkner sends out Rayquaza. Takes a quarter of itself thanks to the Stealth Rocks. As Rayquaza goes for the aerial ace. Super effective, but Hitmonlee survives. Thanks to its Focus Sash. Goes for the Stone Edge and misses. But it's unfortunate. Rayquaza goes for the Earthquake. That's going to be the end of the Hitmonlee. The Stone Edge misses, really making a difference here. As Bruno sends out his ace, Machamp. He gets a quick call, Brock, goes for the Stone Edge. And Rayquaza is gone. Taking out a legendary. There's got to be a great feat for Bruno here. As Falkner sends out Gliscor next. He takes damage from the Stealth Rocks.
Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. Who's going to take the glory?
Gliscor goes for the Swords Dance, boosting its attack by 2 stages.
It's attack rose.
The champ goes for the Stone Edge.
A rigid shot.
But Gliscor holds on. Gliscor restores HP with some leftovers. Quick call Brock again. Machamp going for a Stone Edge to get a crit here. They sadly do not. Gliscor holds on and responds to the Earthquake. Machamp manages to survive the attack, but just barely. Gliscor restores HP with some leftovers. And Machamp goes for the Bullet Punch. But it's not enough to finish off the Gliscor. He finishes it off with an Earthquake. Machamp goes down. And Bruno is in trouble here. Falkner has a pretty big lead. Out comes Heracross. Gliscor goes for the Earthquake. Heracross holds on. And responds to the close combat. That Gliscor is taken down. But has the damage already been done? Bruno only has 1 Pokemon left if Heracross goes down. And Heracross is 4 times weak to the flying type arsenal that Falkner has in their hands. Playmob activates the guts. Aerodactyl comes out. Takes damage from the Stealth Rocks.
Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. Who's going to
Goes to the Stone Edge. And with that, Heracross is immediately taken down.
It went down.
Bruno sends out Steelix.
The end of the battle is getting closer by the minute.
Aerodactyl goes for another Stone Edge. Steelix sends the attack, no problem. And responds with an Iron Head, which is super effective. Aerodactyl is taken down. Bruno's Steel type and Ground type here may be just what he needs to potentially inch out this victory. Out comes Pidgeot. Takes damage from the Stealth Rocks. Pidgeot goes for the Brave Bird. Well, Steelix sees the attack, no problem with that high defensive stat. Pidgeot takes some recoil, as well as some damage from Life Orb, as out comes Iron Head. Pidgeot, however, does hold on. Steelix restores HP with some leftovers. Pidgeot goes for another Brave Bird. The Steelix yet again holds on. Pidgeot takes damage from the recoil. And from the Life Orb, Iron Head comes out. And Pidgeot is taken down, Falkner down to their final Pokemon. Let's just have a 1 versus 1 situation. Who will come out on top? Out comes Skarmory. It's a Steel-type battle. Skarmory takes damage from the Stealth Rocks. Will Steelix be able to find a way through? Skarmory's faster. He goes to the Brave Bird. The Steelix eats the attack. No problem with that high defensive stat. Skarmory takes a little bit of recoil. And Steelix goes for the Crunch. It doesn't do much damage to the Skarmory in return, but if he gets some defense drops, then maybe just what they need. Both sides restore HP with leftovers.
The battle has reached its final stage.
Skarmory goes to the Brave Bird.
But this is not a favorable
Steelix survives. Skarmory takes some recoil. The Steelix goes for a Crunch. They get a defense drop that could be huge. Could be just what they need. Steelix restores HP with some leftovers. Skarmory goes for the Brave Bird. Steelix holds on.
This is not a favorable matchup.
Skarmory takes more recoil. Steelix goes for another Crunch. But he doesn't do much damage. One defense drop will surely not be enough. Steelix restores HP with some leftovers.
Closer by the minute.
Brave Bird comes through. Steelix survives. Skarmory takes more recoil. Steelix goes for another Crunch yet again. Skarmory again survives the attack. No defense drop. That is unfortunate for Bruno. This may turn into a battle of attrition.
Its final stage.
Skarmory goes for another Brave Bird. It looks like they are slowly getting through this Steelix. It seems to be getting weaker. Another Crunch comes through. Critical hit. But it's not enough to take down the Skarmory. However, another defense drop may be just what they need. Skarmory's now -2 defense. Steelix restores HP.
The mood in the Coliseum has become
Skarmory is slowly whittling down the Steelix. And somehow coming out on top here. Brave Bird comes through. Steelix holds on. Skarmory takes more recoil. Crunch comes through. Skarmory taking a bit more damage now. Both sides are fighting hard to get their trainer the victory that they so desperately crave. Another Brave Bird from Skarmory. I think Skarmory may come out on top here. I just have a feeling.
This is not a favorable matchup.
Steelix goes for another Crunch. Another critical hit. This is getting right down to the wire here. Steelix restores HP with the leftovers, some more crits, and he may be able to do it.
Has become somewhat unsettling.
Skarmory going for another Brave Bird. Steelix holds on.
Not a favorable matchup.
Skarmory takes more recoil. Steelix switches to the Stab Iron Head. Skarmory survives. So does Steelix. This is right down to the wire, folks. Who will come out on top? This could be anybody's game. Steelix holds on.
But this is not a favorable matchup.
Garmy takes more recoil. Ironhead comes through. Garmy holds on. Does HP with some leftovers. So does Steelix.
The battle has reached its final stage.
Another brave bird from Skarmory. Will it be enough?
Solid hit.
Steelix holds on.
Favorable matchup.
Garmy takes more recoil. Ironhead comes through. Oh my goodness, and Bruno's... No! Skarmory holds on with 1 HP! Whose game will this be?
Desperately holds on. Nailed by
Felix holds on!
This is
And I think that might be game. Garmy takes more recoil, Ironhead comes through. And oh my goodness, Bruno's saved himself from elimination again. Taking down Falkner. What an impressive victory. Those Stone Edge misses really made me think that Bruno had lost there. But Bruno has done it. He's eliminated Falkner. What an impressive showing by Bruno.
defeat.
Maybe he's not the pushover we all think he is. But oh my goodness, was that an intense battle. Now it's time to spin the wheel and find out who we will be controlling in the next matchup. Okay, Candice or May? It looks like I'll be controlling May. Let's look in the teams. Okay, the teams are locked in. Let's get this started. May leads off with Blaziken, while Candice leads off with Mama Swine.
Coliseum, located on the main street of Poketopia, to witness the big battle that is about to
Blaziken goes for the Sky Uppercut.
begins. The blue corner makes the first attack.
But Mama Swine holds on and responds with an Earthquake.
Earthquake tears open the ground.
Oh my goodness, Blaziken goes down immediately.
Already.
Candice taking the lead, 6 versus 5, as May's ace falls.
Blastoise.
May sends out Blastoise.
The blue corner has already taken some serious damage.
Mama Swine goes for another Earthquake.
Chance of a comeback.
But Blastoise sees the attack and responds with a Surf. With that, Mama Swine is taken down.
It couldn't take
The score is 5 versus 5. Blastoise restores HP with some leftovers. As Candice responds with Glaceon.
well. Both corners still have a chance to win this. What kind of developments can we expect to see next?
Glaceon goes for the Hail.
Hail in the Coliseum.
As Blastoise goes for the Roar and forces it to switch out. Looks like Medicham is forced out into the forefront.
Medicham.
As both take damage thanks to the Hail. Blastoise restores HP with some leftovers. Medicham goes for the bulk up, boosts its attack and defense by 1 stage.
Rose.
Blastoise goes for the Surf.
So
Critical hit. The Medicham is immediately taken down.
lot of damage. It's down.
Blastoise takes damage from the Hail, but restores it back with the leftovers.
Glaceon.
As Candice sends out Glaceon once again.
Both corners still have a chance to win this.
Blastoise goes for the Surf.
Expect to see next.
And Glaceon eats the attack. Glaceon responds with a Blizzard.
A fierce.
Critical hit.
It's a direct
It's not very effective, and that just might have been what saved Blastoise there. But it may go down to the hail. And oh my goodness, Blastoise is taken down. May sends out her own Glaceon. Goes for the Blizzard. But Candice's manages to hold on. It goes for hidden power. But it misses thanks to the Snow Cloak.
Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. What kind of developments can
Another Blizzard from May's Glaceon. And Candice's goes down.
Blizzard? It's down and out.
How will Candice respond now? May maintaining a lead as the hail stops. Candice sends out a Bomber Snow. It will permanently set the hail on the field.
It's hailing in the Coliseum again.
Glaceon goes for the Blizzard. It's neutral. But a Bomber Snow survives. Bomber Snow goes for the Swords Dance, boosting its attack by 2 stages. This could be a problem. Hail continues to fall. Bomber Snow restores some HP.
Glaceon.
As out comes another Blizzard from the Glaceon. Will it be enough?
A frigid shot from Blizzard.
It will, as our Bomber Snow goes down.
It's down and out.
Candice may be in trouble here. May continues to widen the margin between them.
Frostlass is
As out comes Frostlass.
currently leads. Can they end this quickly? The blue corner.
May calls back Glaceon. And sends out Venusaur. Frostlass goes for the Blizzard. Something Venusaur will definitely not appreciate. And Venusaur is immediately taken down.
A huge amount of damage. It's down.
Hail continues to fall. As May sends back out her Glaceon.
Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. Who's
Glaceon's faster, goes for the Shadow Ball. Runs to the Choice Scarf.
the red
Frostlass will
corner
not appreciate this. It takes damage, goes to the Blizzard. It connects, but Glaceon survives.
This is not a favorable matchup.
Hail continues to fall. Glaceon goes for another Shadow Ball. Too fast for even Destiny Bond to take hold.
It couldn't take it. It's down.
And he sends out Weavile, their final Pokemon.
The battle has reached its final stage. The blue corner.
May calls back Glaceon. And sends out Manaphy. Weavile goes for the Swords Dance. This could be dangerous.
Its attack rose.
The tap boosted by 2 stages could be a menace. Hail continues to fall. Manaphy takes damage. Weavile goes for the Night Slash. If he gets a crit hit, it could be all over.
A fierce blow.
He doesn't get a crit. Manaphy holds on. And responds to the surf. Weavile survives, however, still holding on. It wasn't enough to take it down.
Manaphy is losing.
Hail continues to fall as Manaphy takes more damage.
The battle is getting closer by the minute.
Weavile going for an Ice Punch this time. Interesting change.
Big hit.
But that Manaphy still goes down, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
It went down.
Could Weavile be the saving grace for Candice and bring her back into this competition? They still has 2 Pokemon left. May sends out Snorlax.
A chilling breeze
Without goals from the low kick, however. +2 attack with the weight of Snorlax. Snorlax is immediately gone.
Intense blow.
Hill continues to fall. Darkun's Maze, final Pokemon, Glaceon.
The last Pokemon from each team will take the field.
Despite the choice scarf, Weaver's faster goes for the low kick.
Up to 11. Slammed up
And Glaceon goes down.
by an intense blow.
Rise impressive by Candice. And she managed to save herself from elimination and give May her second defeat.
Lost.
Congratulations to Candice. Is it time to spin the wheel and find out who will be controlling in the next matchup? Okay, Conway or Professor Oak? It looks like I'll be controlling Professor Oak. Let's lock in the teams. Okay, the teams are locked in. Let's get this started. Professor Oak leads off with Venusaur while they lead off with a Shuckle.
Not even the magma's heat can stop them. The stage is
Venusaur goes to the Sludge Bomb.
The blue corner makes the first attack.
Shuckle is not very effective, but he could get the poison. They don't. A Shuckle goes for the knockoff.
A rout of light attacks.
But that Venusaur loses its Black Sludge. All leftovers, either way. That is unfortunate.
The air in the Colosseum is tense.
Venusaur goes to the Sleep Powder. That's gonna put the Shuckle straight to sleep.
Shuckle fell asleep. Shuckle restores.
Shuckle restores HP with some leftovers.
A heated battle is unfolding in the Colosseum. The blue corner.
Professor Oak calls back his Venusaur. And sends out Gyarados. Shuckle is intimidated, but it won't matter much for a Pokemon so weak. The Shuckle goes for another knockoff.
A light hit.
Another item gone. As out goes Lumberry for the Gyarados.
Tense.
Gyarados goes for the Thunder Wave to paralyze the Shuckle.
Shuckle became paralyzed.
Shuckle's fully paralyzed and can't move.
Is still up in the air. Who will reach for victory?
As Gyarados sets up the Dragon Dance.
Its stats rose.
Second speed raised by one stage. The Shuckle goes for another knockoff. Not gonna do much to the Gyarados. It's already intimidated. It already has no attack.
The blue corner keeps.
But damage is damage, I suppose. Another Dragon Dance comes through. +2 attack and 2 speed. Shuckle going for another knockoff.
A small hit.
Gyarados yet again surviving.
Both corners are carefully examining their opponent.
Gyarados goes to the +2 waterfall.
Big hit.
Shuckle will not appreciate that and goes down immediately.
Tense blow. Aggron.
Conway says out Aggron, an interesting choice.
Corners still have a chance to win this.
Gyarados goes to the waterfall.
Rushing blow.
And Aggron is just simply gone.
Taken down by an intense blow.
Conway's in trouble here, Professor Oak. Taking an early lead.
Licky Licky is
Out comes Licky Licky for Conway. Waterfall comes free from Gyarados.
a fierce blow. It's a
Licky Licky holds on. Responds with a seismic toss. Gyarados is sent up to the stratosphere.
the battle.
Goes crashing down, but it manages to survive. Licky Licky restores some HP with the leftovers. There comes another waterfall from Gyarados.
Rushing blow. It's
Down goes Licky Licky. Conway says that Duswa exerts its pressure on the battlefield.
continues to do very well.
The SWAT goes first with a sucker punch. The Gyarados sinks in and survives and responds with a waterfall.
A fierce blow. The red
The
corner
SWAT holds on.
holds on. Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. Who's
Gustavberry lets it move first. He just goes for the sucker punch again.
nicely done?
The Gyarados yet again holds on.
A great deal of pressure.
Another waterfall comes through and Duskwire is taken down.
It couldn't take it. It's down. Slowking is
Conway sends out Slowking. Gyarados goes for the Earthquake.
a fierce blow.
But Slowking holds on. Slowking responds with a Surf. Will that be enough to finish off Gyarados at that range of HP? Probably. And Gyarados finally goes down.
Down.
Slowking restores HP with some leftovers. As Professor Oak sends out Venusaur.
Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. What kind of developments can we expect to see next?
Venusaur begins to absorb some sunlight.
Absorbing the light.
As Slowking goes to the Trick Room, switching the speed in dimensions on their head. Now Slowking will be faster. He'll be able to get off one attack before he gets hit by that attack. Out comes Psychic.
Fierce blow.
But Venusaur survives. Venusaur lands a Solar Beam. Goodbye to Slowking.
It's down and out.
Looks like Professor Oak may be eliminating Conway here. Conway is down to their final Pokemon Heracross
Something strange.
against Professor Oak's 5 Pokemon.
What's this?
Venusaur's faster, goes to the Sludge Bomb.
A rigid shock.
Heracross holds on. And goes for the Mega Horn.
Here's fight.
But that Venusaur is taken down.
It went down.
As Guts activates Fancedal Flame Orb. Professor Oak sends out Mew. Dragon type versus the Bug and Finding type. Interesting choice.
Tension is peaking.
However, it seems Heracross is slower naturally, and because of Trick Room, it's faster. It goes for the Mega Horn.
Here's fight. Mega Horn.
And Mew is just simply gone.
Huge amount of damage. It's down. Heracross.
Heracross suffers damage from its burn. Professor Oak sends out Tauros. Intimidates Heracross, lowering its attack.
Something strange. Distortion. What's this? The Colosseum.
Heracross is still faster thanks to the Trick Ring, goes for the Brick Break. Let Intimidate make the difference? It will as Tauros holds on and responds with a Double Edge.
Sliced apart by Double Edge.
With that, Heracross is taken down. But so does Tauros thanks to the recoil. But nevertheless, Professor Oak has eliminated Conway from the tournament. How unfortunate that is. Professor Oak getting his first victory.
Battle has
But he's already been eliminated.
won the game.
Whether if we have another one of these situations and he's able to claim a victory point, he may be able to come back. Time will tell. Let's move on to the scores. Okay, these are now the scores. Agatha, Bruno, Candice, Dawn, and May all have 2 victories and 2 defeats. There is nothing but eliminations from here and a claiming of a seat. The question is, are the 3 seats available? Which of these trainers will claim them? I'd love to hear your thoughts on who you think will make it through to round 2 in the comments down below. But it's now time to spin the wheel to find out who will be facing who in the next episodes. Okay, we have another situation where there is an uneven number of participants, which means one of these trainers will be going up against somebody who's already been eliminated. With that said, however, it's now time to find out who will be facing who. Who will our first contestant be? Looks like that wheel has selected Agatha. This should be interesting. Who will Agatha's opponent be? It looks like she's going to be up against Dawn. Both have 2 victories and 2 losses. So one of them will be going home here today. The question is, who will it be? Okay, who will the next matchup be? It looks like that wheel has selected Bruno. And who will Bruno be going up against, me or Candice? It looks like Bruno will be going up against Candice. This should be an interesting one. Bruno is in a type advantageous matchup here, but he's already lost to Candice before, if I remember correctly. Will he do so again? This should be an interesting rematch. That leaves May as our final contestant who doesn't have someone to go up against. Okay, which of these trainers will be going up against May and potentially knock her out of the tournament? Or will she be able to get a third victory point and make it through? It looks like she'll be going up against Chuck. This should be interesting. With that said, if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, comment, and to subscribe. Let me know who you think will win. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace.
I'm the champion. You better watch your step. Cause once I'm through with you, there'll be nothing left. I will watch you break. You don't have what it takes. The many long nights training with no breaks. This is what it takes. Make no mistake.